is the strangest thing that ever happened to me. Since that incident happened, there hasn't been a day that I haven't thought of it.
Over there where you live, there was a cemetery before they built those houses. I said, okay, so we probably have ghosts. What am I going to do? And I said, look, this is really not good. I don't like it.
Sometimes you think, I don't know, it's possible it was a dream even though I thought it wasn't a dream, or maybe some form of temporary psychosis. But when you see something like that, when it leaves some physical evidence that you have there, how can I deny that?
Fight or flight? Maybe it depends on the danger. Maybe it depends on the person. But I think most of us would fight tenaciously if our lives or our family's lives were threatened. But what if the danger was coming from a ghost? That would make the fight a little more complicated. How could we possibly defend ourselves against the paranormal? Hi, I'm Lawrence Chow. Today in Ghostly Encounters, we'll meet a man and a woman who both tell of being attacked by demons and ghosts. Both fought back instead of giving in to fear. And for Victor Trantos, the choice to fight was a no-brainer because he believed the demon was about to kill him.
I remember lying on the bed sleeping with my partner. I look at the clock, I went back, I drift back to sleep, and I started dreaming that I was lying in bed right where I was. And the darkness somehow stirred and changed form in the room. The room was about half dark, so you could still see a lot of things, the furniture, what was in the room. And all of a sudden, there was this creature sitting on me on my chest. It had a round, ugly head. He was slightly hunched. What I remember was his eyes. He had very, very powerful yellow eyes. And immediately I felt a pressure and a coldness and numbness starting from the toes of my feet, and it kept coming up. It kept coming like really quickly into the rest of my body. As my toes were freezing and this cold kept going up my body, it felt like a deep cold, almost like a liquid cold. From whatever that cold was touching, I felt like the life was coming out of it. So I thought by the time it reaches my head, I'll die. As I was looking at that creature, as it was sitting on me, I would look inside the body. It's a very strange feeling. There's no word to exactly describe, and I saw like it was like a blackness, a really, really dark blackness that was drawing me in. It looked like a night, as you look at the night sky, but without stars. I had the feeling that he actually either wanted to kill me or get inside me. It looked like a spirit that you see in pictures, in old books, in old drawings. It looks like something that really came out of hell. There's no other way to describe it. I was trying to wake my partner so she could see that thing, and I couldn't speak. I couldn't master any sound. I didn't have enough strength to squeeze her, to wake her. I wasn't able to because I was paralyzed. Only my eyes would move. He was so strong, like he seemed to have immense strength. I felt like a mountain was sitting on me. His power was incredible. I didn't have a chance to survive it. I thought I didn't like this dream, so I wanted to just get out of it. So what I did, I woke myself up. And that creature was still on me, even though I passed from a state of being asleep into the waking state. I got really terrified because I didn't know you can only wake up once. You can wake again to get out of this. And what I did, the first thing that came to my mind is to start praying. When I was back home in Sunday school, we had a picture of Jesus on the wall. And I remember it was Jesus on the donkey on his way to Jerusalem. And that's the picture that came into my mind. As soon as I brought that picture into my mind, that creature backed off in horror. And then it grabbed me again. I pray to Jesus. I say, Jesus, just save me. I say that in my mind. The second time, it just let go, and it floated away. There was no wings, no flapping, no sound. It just moved, and it disappeared from the room where the ceiling meets the wall. It just left the room. So the only thing that saved me was that prayer. And at the same time, I felt something different. I was able to move, and I felt a presence right next to me, a very warm presence, something like an angel or someone who really cares for you. I don't know what it was because I couldn't see anything. I just had the feeling it was right there next to me. So I tried to touch that, whatever it was that was there, but I couldn't see it or touch it. I just knew it was there. As I got up, I was really shaken. I decided I have to get up and go and brush my teeth and get ready to go to work. So as soon as I stepped in the bathroom, I looked in the mirror and I saw a cross I was always wearing. It was gone. The chain was still around my neck, but the cross was gone. I went back to the bed and I found the cross fell between my body and my partner's. I picked up the cross, and then I noticed the link that links the cross and the chain was intact. The link wasn't open, and yet somehow the cross came off the chain. I started sobbing. So she woke up and asked me, what's the matter with me? What's wrong? So I told her the whole story. And I just didn't know what to think. But she noticed that the cross also, the link was closed. And I believe this is the strongest piece of evidence that this thing happened, this thing was real. Somehow that creature caused that cross to fall off the chain. Obviously, it could tolerate the cross, but it couldn't tolerate the fact that I was thinking of Jesus. And it left. I believe it's some kind of a spirit, a malevolent spirit, which is called an incubus. If it's male, if it's a female, it's called a succubus. And people usually have sexual experiences with those spirits. In my case, it was nothing sexual. I had the feeling that he just wanted to kill me. And if it wasn't for me praying at the right time, I think I wouldn't be sitting here right now. It affected my religious beliefs because I had my own beliefs. I did believe in God and I believe in Jesus too, but I wasn't giving it much thought because I always had doubts about it. You have to rethink everything. And you see a totally new angle of things in life. It actually changes you as a person because you're thinking you want to be a good person, because if this thing is real, if this demon is real, like what else is real? Does that mean that everything is real? Does that mean angels are real? Is God real? What if we die and we go to hell? So is there a heaven? Like, it makes you, all these questions go through your mind after when you see an apparition like this. And the whole incident, I can tell you in some ways it has changed my life.
Across cultures, almost every folk and religious tradition involves beliefs about demons of some sort. And it doesn't seem to matter how religious or how unreligious we are. When we believe we are confronting supernatural forces, we generally fall back on the religion of our childhood. And so it's not surprising that Victor went straight to Jesus and Christianity when he needed to defend himself. But Victor's silver cross should not be looked at as just a symbol of Jesus. It's also an example of a talisman, a physical object imbued with protective, magical energy. In Victor's very frightening case, that energy matched the intensity of his experience, an intensity that changed Victor's attitudes about heaven, hell, and the existence of God.
I wanted to see this ghost. I was daring him. I would talk to him in my monologue. Come on, why are you after my kids? You know, you just come and show yourself to me. Let me see you.
Victor believed his life was at stake, but Katrina Cheney was worried about much more than that. She had a family to protect, and she fought like a mother lion.
Well, the first experience was when we were sleeping in the house, everybody in their own rooms, my daughter, her boyfriend, my niece, myself, my son, and all of a sudden, during night, it was probably 2 o'clock, we heard those heavy steps going down towards the wooden stairs. It sounded like somebody very heavy walking, actually tumbling, tripping down the stairs. I got up from my bed, and then I met my daughter and my niece, and everybody was there. And I said, who's playing those jokes? What are you throwing down the stairs? Are you kidding me? No, we just came out to see, are you all right? Is somebody in the house? So we turned on the lights. Nothing was there, and that was pretty scary at the first moment, but then we realized, okay, there's a ghost, let's see if he's friendly or he's not friendly. After a few days, this noise again repeat, but it wasn't going down the stairs, it was down there in the basement, like in between the walls, some kind of noise, like somebody was walking with a heavy person, like 200 at least, probably even 400 pounds. It was so heavy. So again, I woke up my daughter and I went downstairs and I said, look, this is really not good. I don't like it. And she said, well, probably there's some ghosts or something. I heard people talking about it, so I didn't want to discuss with the kids about ghosts and stuff, not to scare them. And then after a while, I started to talk to this ghost. So I would go to bed and I just would start talking and just say, look, you know what? I know you're here, and I know you're here for your own reasons, but don't be selfish. This is my house, and don't go after my kids. If you have to deal with somebody, here I am. I'm not afraid of you as you're not afraid of me, because I cannot stand this anymore. Frankly, you just get out of my house because you don't belong here. I am the one who locks the door in my house. So my entrance door, main door, side door, and the backyard door. And every lock is different keys, and they lock from inside for the safety reasons, and I had the chains. So when everybody's back home at night, I would just go and lock every single door. Children, everybody's sleeping, and then I go to sleep. For some reason, I woke up next morning, one of the mornings, at 6 o'clock. I usually wake up at 7, and it was strange. So I said, okay, while I'm awake, I'm gonna go and make coffee for myself. all three of my doors were wide open. So I woke up my daughter and I said, "Are you playing tricks on me? Who opened the door this morning?" And she says, "Come on." And I could see that she was just like in her deepest sleep. She says, "What are you talking about? Like, who opened the door? No, I didn't open the door." So it wasn't my daughter, it wasn't my niece, it wasn't my son. Of course, he's small. So I said, "Okay, fine. That's something that I have to be concerned now, because I don't want to wake up every single morning with my doors wide open." It was probably just a week after, my daughter had her friend sleeping over, and they slept at the third floor, right underneath the roof. And my daughter had candle holders, which were hooked on those hooks on the ceiling. She lit them to have atmosphere, and they were talking their girl talks. And then the girl, her friend, she says, "You know what? Why don't you turn off this candle? It's poking my eyes. I really cannot talk. It bothers me. Why do you have to have this candle so I will be out sleeping?" At that moment, when she said that, this candle holder with the candle dropped. They found themselves in a pitch dark and ran right into my room to say what happened. And I said, "Well, come on, don't over exaggerate right now, because probably it's that the wires that was holding this candle holder is not good." So we went back to the room. The hook was there, the wires, everything. The candle holder was totally okay, but the candle was down at the floor. So then I said, "Okay, fine, that's it. I'm gonna sell the house." I wasn't scared. I could stay there forever because of my monologues with this ghost, because I was concerned for my children. They didn't know what was going on. Especially I was concerned about my little one, my son, at that time being 3, 4, I don't even remember. So I said, "Okay, well, I'm gonna sell this house and move downtown." And actually I got a good price for this house. And I hope those people don't experience the same unexplained situations over there. This is a living proof that there is something beyond our existence here in this dimension, on this earth, in these bodies, that probably that we are transforming ourselves into something else, and that we move in a different dimension or different level or psyche, I don't know, but something is there. Nobody can tell me that this didn't happen, because we didn't dream. We were all awake, me and my children and my guests, that all together experienced the same thing,
Both Katrina and Victor talk about confronting spirits, but they didn't seem to have the same level of control over the supernatural world. Victor was able to drive the incubus away with prayer. But Katrina's monologues, her attempt to reason with the ghost, and her demands that the ghost get out of my house, didn't work. She was finally convinced that it was a fight she couldn't win. The presence didn't intend to leave. And so, for the sake of her children, she sold the house and moved out. Both Victor and Katrina's stories were corroborated by other witnesses. Victor's partner confirmed that the link holding the cross to his chain was intact. Katrina's children heard the footsteps and saw the open doors. The accounts of others who witnessed some part of a ghostly encounter help to move these strange experiences out of their purely private realm and into the public. As far as Victor and Katrina were concerned, it didn't matter how public or how private their experiences were. They still had to fight. And yet, despite the horrifying nature of their tales, neither of them thinks that supernatural automatically equals evil.
I wasn't scared of that ghost at all. At all. And especially I didn't think that could be evil or good ghost at all, because I don't think that there is evil in those ghost stories like a devil and stuff like that. I do not believe in that for a second. I just believe that there are bad and good people.
What I believe good and evil are intertwined. You have both in life. There is a struggle between good and evil in the world where we live today. But in most cases, I don't think the supernatural can hurt you. I think the devil, in most cases, needs human hands to do his damage.